90 issue. It is original and complete. You can see in this picture some of these brands. This is another magazine called Jaridat Al-Qrada. It's a Coptic journal from Cairo, Egypt, and it's complete and original. Also, this is another one. This is another magazine called Al-Muhama Al-Shar'iyya. It's a judicial one, and it's original also. This is another one, مجلس النواب والحقوق الجريدة القضائية. This is an Islamic magazine called مجلة جمعية مكارم الأخلاق الإسلامية. It provides a history of ethical landscape of early 20th century Egypt. The journal editors and contributors focused on a set of key themes such as spiritual awareness, advocating for accessible education for women, marriage, topics for Friday sermons, offering a critique of culture trends. And it's from Cairo, Egypt. It's complete and original. It's 34 volumes. And we have also some other complete journals, but because of time, I cannot talk about all of them. And I'm ready now for any questions.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions here in the audience?
Thank you for your presentation. I have two questions. First one, do you have or do you cover the Armenian and Kurdish materials that published in Turkey? The second question, do you have the ability of covering the materials from northern Cyprus?
Okay, for the Armenian and North Cyprus, I don't think we can cover it, but for Kurdish, yes, we can cover it here in Istanbul. We are mainly working with books from our regions.
Any other questions here in the room? Yes, John. And please identify yourself.
Joan Weeks, Library of Congress. I'm interested in if you have anything published in any modern sense of Osmanlı Türkçe, or even formerly that we may not have. So mostly, do you cover Osmanlı Türkçe?
Yes, we cover it.
Any other questions?
Hi, Mohamed Salhi from the Library of Congress. I noticed most of your publications are from Egypt. Do you have any Arabic publications, say from Syria or Lebanon during the Ottoman period?
We do actually, and we will be happy to work with you.
Okay. Any questions from our online colleagues?
I would be happy to share a list of the books I have with you all guys through my email.
Okay, that would be wonderful. All right, any other questions, comments? Okay. There was a question in the chat, and it asks, do you have Ottoman era materials in Greek?
In Greek, just give me a second. Not at this time. I checked all my collections and I don't have any right now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well,
Thank you so
very
much.
much. Thank you very much for participating. Okay, next up, we have Norsoft. Is Norsoft able to present? Reza, are you there? Okay, and Ferdosi is having some technical issues also and is trying to send his presentation to me. Oh, here's, Okay, I think we're going to have to skip ahead to Nadim. Can you presentation? Norsoft is in the room, but okay. Norsoft, are you able to present? Oh. Okay, I think Nadim better. All right, we're gonna have a little change in the schedule, and here's Nadim from Libra Books.
Thank you. It's on the desktop.
Yeah, it's on the desk.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be back at MELA after 3 years in person. I'm going to be presenting about our company. For those who don't know us, it's going to be about our capabilities, our services. For those who know us, it's going to be a bit repetitive. I'm sorry about that. And then I'm going to give you a little information about the Turkish publishing industry, what's been happening, what's going on over the past year or two. We are Libra Books, based in Istanbul, Turkey. We have been established in 2002. We are a family business. The company was founded by my father. I joined in 2015. We're very much a family company. My mother is also in the company. We serve foreign libraries in the US, in Europe, in Asia, all around the world with the supply of academic titles in the fields of Ottoman and Turkish studies. We also have a publishing division. We have published 528 books so far in the fields of Ottoman and Turkish studies and minority studies. Our services are supply of books, journals, ephemera, CDs, DVDs. We process firm orders, approval plan orders. We prepare catalogs based on your needs, your requests. We can search for out-of-print rare titles. We cover obviously Turkey, but someone asked about Cyprus. We cover the northern Turkish Republic of Cyprus. We cover any language that is published in Turkey, besides Turkish, obviously, the Western languages, but also Arabic, Kurdish, Uyghur, Armenian, Ladino, anything that is published in Turkey, we cover it. We also can provide basic mark records. No, I have to admit that, yeah. We offer monographs and serials from obviously commercial publishing houses, but also NGOs, government agencies, educational institutions, corporations, individuals. We cover a variety of subjects, obviously Ottoman history, modern Turkish history, religious minorities in Turkey, Kurdish studies, literature, literary criticism and theory, Islamic studies, biographies, cultural studies, arts, architecture, archaeology, cinema, comic books, food. So basically, anything that fits your profile, we're able to cover that subject. We also cover non-book materials such as, movie posters, posters on political subjects, election materials. Next year, we're going to have general elections, so there's going to be a lot of materials for that. So we cover those, and ephemeral materials as well. Libra Kitap is our publishing division. We have published 529 titles so far, most in Turkish, but also we have a wide range of materials in English, some in French. Our areas of focus are Ottoman history, Turkish history, minority studies, cultural studies, and memoirs. We have a website, librabooks.com.tr, where you can register, see our catalogs, current catalogs, past catalogs, search for books based on keywords, ISBN numbers, subjects, and get access to our monthly catalogs. On the left is our PDF catalog that you can see every month. We also provide catalogs in Excel format for those who need. It's basically, as you can see, this is an example for just 1 month. It gives you information about, the book title, author, publisher, the ISBN number, the page number, the language it was published in, and this is done on a monthly basis. We also cover commercially non-available publications. Obviously, there are a lot of publications published by the commercial publishing houses, but there are also a lot of materials published by government agencies or municipalities, provinces that are not available in the commercial market. So we go basically hunt for these types of materials because they have a lot of value and they're not visible in the commercial market. So as you can see, here are some examples. For example, History of Turkish Cinema Censorship over here, published by the Office of the Presidency. It's not available commercially, but we search for these types of materials and try to find them. Or again, Ottoman era children songs, for example. Very niche title, but published by an organization that focuses on music that we go and hunt for. Or Jewish cuisine of Edirne, very published by the municipality of Edirne, for example. So there are a lot of materials published by invisible publishing houses. For example, History of Forestry in Ottoman Empire, published by a forestry organization, or History of a certain municipality, published by that specific municipality. So a lot of different types of materials that we try to get for our clients. And with that, I'm going to give you just a little information about the Turkish publishing industry, what's going on over the past 2 years. We don't have data for this year because the data is published by the Turkish Statistical Agency, and they collect the data and they publish it a year later. So we have the data for 2021. About 87,000 books have been published in 2021. It was an increase of 11% over the previous year. Digital books are increasing. About 15% of these are digital books, 85% print books. Ebooks increase by 53% over the previous year. Print books only increased by 6%. Most of the books are published by private publishers, 93%. And in terms of books printed, it's 638 million books were printed. About 200 of that was printed for the Ministry of Education and distributed freely to students. And online book sales are increasing in the Turkish market. It's about 20% of total sales in the market. So as you can see, it's an upward trend over the past 10 years. We were at below 40,000 books in 2011. Now we're over 85,000 books. And you can see the ebooks, the green line, the small line, is also an upward trend as well. The books published by subjects vary. You'll see a lot of educational books. I'll get to that in a little bit, what educational books mean. But the rest are, as you would expect, adult fiction, adult nonfiction, academic, children books, and some religious books. Books printed have also an increasing trend over the past 10 years. We reached 439 million in 2021. 2022 is a bit different. I'll get to that in a little bit. For the books that are printed, it's overwhelmingly educational books. 53% of the market is that. And educational books basically mean test books. The Turkish education system is unfortunately relies heavily on the testing system. For every grade, there are different tests that students need to take. So the market, the printing market is overwhelmed by the number of educational books that are available. When you go to the Istanbul Book Fair, you'll see 6 halls of books. 2 of the halls are educational books. So it's an unfortunate part of the Turkish publishing industry. So highlights of the past year, what's going on in the country. There's an emergence of new academic publishers and vanity presses. There's an emergence of foreign language books. There's a decreasing trend in newspapers and magazines. As I mentioned before, an increase in online book sales. Emergence of audiobooks, the death of DVDs, and emergence of new streaming platforms, and the current economic crisis that we're facing in the country. So new academic publishers, those emerged over the past few years because one of the criteria for an academic to get the associate professor title is to get published. So and published by an internationally recognized publisher. So a lot of new academic publishers have emerged to address that need over the past few years. So you'll see a lot of new titles that are being printed, academically worthy by new publishers. There are also vanity presses, basically people paying money just to get published, poetry books, novels, and things like that. Those are also emerged over the past few years. With the influx of immigration into Turkey, there's now a lot of new foreign publishers in the country. Books in Arabic, Persian, Uyghur, and other languages have started to become available. There are annual Arabic book fairs, not 1 but 2 every year for the past 7 years. So when you come to the Istanbul Book Fair, there's a section devoted to Arabic books as well. So it's becoming a new increasing trend over the past few years. Here are some examples of books in foreign language that are available. On the left are Uyghur books published by the Uyghur community in Istanbul that we're able to provide. There are Armenian books, Kurdish books, books in Arabic, books that are not on this slide, but in Ladino, in Hebrew, in other languages, obviously English and French, that are available in the market. Newspapers, as everywhere else in the world, are going down. The yearly circulation is 36% of 10, 11 years ago. Magazines are dying as well. Due to the fact of the internet and social media, people get their news from elsewhere, and there's also a lack of trust towards the media in Turkey as well. Streaming platforms are huge now. There hasn't been a new DVD published in Turkey since 2018. So we get sometimes requests for Turkish movies, Turkish DVDs, but we're unable to do anything about it because all new movies are now being, if they get a theatrical release, after that they go directly to streaming platforms. So DVDs are completely dead, unfortunately. 2022 is a difficult year so far. We're facing an economic crisis in Turkey. We have a currency crisis, and we have a huge inflation rate. The Turkish lira lost 75% of its value against US dollar and euro over the past year. Also, the price of imported paper increased by close to 400% due to this crisis. And Turkey does not produce its own paper. That's the main problem. Turkey imports paper for the publishing industry. So the book manufacturing prices and book prices increased dramatically over the past year. And book production hit its lowest mark in 8 years, 15% drop versus 2021. And the inflation rate is another major problem. The official number is 85%, but there are independent researchers who studied the subject and they put it at 185% yearly inflation rate. So the consumer purchasing power has decreased significantly, resulting in lower sales and lower book production. Just a chart that shows you what happened over the past 20 years for the USD Turkish lira exchange rates. We were at close to 1.5 in 2000. Now it's at 19. The inflation rates, again, this is the official number. You see, it was always at about 10%, between 10 and 15% for a long time. But since 2021, it's it's close to triple digits officially. But in reality, we know that it's more than that. So all these things are impacting consumers' ability to buy books, the price of the books, manufacturing costs of the books. All these are impacting what's happening in the industry. 2 minutes, okay. 1 minute, okay. So this is the book production year by year for January through October. As you can see, it's the lowest mark since 2014. All the economic problems resulted in this situation. And still, people are still buying books in Turkey. It's not that grim. The prices are high, but people are still reading. These are the types of books that, not libraries or academics are reading, but this is the average consumer, what they read in Turkey. So you'll see international bestseller books, translations of them, or very famous Turkish authors, their new books. So the reading habits are still continuing, but whereas people were buying maybe 10 books in a year, they're now buying a lot less because of high prices of the books. So with that, I'm going to finish my presentation. Thank you. No,
we can hold.
Skip,
If we have time at the end, we can hold it open for questions. Thank you. All right, I have the. Okay, so I happen to have the presentation for Ferdowsi, and it is self-playing. So we are going to play it now. So on the actual PowerPoint, there's like a sound button, but I don't hear any sound right. It's moving, but there seems to be no sound.
Welcome to our presentation and showcase. It's a pleasure to be here. And we're going to talk about Ferdowsi Media as a whole and related to Middle Eastern studies. We have two websites. They are both different procurement solutions. FerdowsiInfo.com is for subscription services. We mainly sell newspapers, magazines, journals, online newspapers, and databases. And Ferdowsi.com is our most known website, and that's for the books. We sell prestigious non-censored and censored periodicals worldwide, focus on key areas of many subjects and newspaper sources in Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Saudi Arabia, and access can be given by SSO, single sign-on, through our online database, receive guidelines and personal service. We offer titles and its back issues, including new ones, Middle Eastern serials and partnerships with local agent offices. And here comes a preview of our book site above and subscription site below, with lots of data, means for data means. A little about our history. So Ferdowsi started his business as a vendor for Persian monographs to Scandinavian libraries in 1984, and later we increased languages to Arabic, Kurdish, and Azari. Today, Ferdowsi is providing more than 50 languages to libraries and private customers worldwide. Our main customers are public, national, and university libraries worldwide from many different countries. In 2021, we developed our new website in which we also provide services to libraries such as cataloging by using the LOC classification system. Ferdowsi is also the main distributor of Persian, Arabic, Kurdish, and Dari languages books, published outside of the home countries, which we call non-censored publications. Over to page 7 here. Here you see there's some pages from Ferdowsi.com. And yes, you can contact us for more information and we can send your catalog regardless of format. inside and outside of Iran. The current movement in Iran, Women, Life, Freedom, is going to impact the situation both inside and outside the country. It is expected to have enormous consequence in publishing of different fields such as research and literature. We are going to show you a short clip trending on Instagram on Iranian economy and political development since 1950. We hope you enjoy it.
حالا چون با قلب و قاشق این موشه ها یه کاری میکنن بدان
The next, no, it's still running. No, it's still running. It's still running. I think it just advance the slide. Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you very much for that. Let's look and see if there are questions. Okay, I'm not sure if Benjamin is able to take any questions or not. Are there any questions? Okay. I mean, if it's for someone previous, let's wait till the end. No, we'll save those to the end. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for that. How about a round of applause for Benjamin Inosa? He made a tremendous effort to get his presentation here like this. It could have been live, but thanks to the miracle of technology, we were able to get him in. Okay, so I would like to ask Norsoft. Reza, are you ready? Yeah. Right, that's what we're expecting. Okay. Okay, he's saying that he is ready, but I don't know. No, he's there. Okay. Okay. Yes. Ah, yes. Yep. Yeah, okay. All right, everyone. So this is Norsoft. This is the first time for them to present. So I think what he is going to do is just, unfortunately, he doesn't seem to have sound capability. So he is going to display his presentation here, and we will view it as best as possible. Okay, so please proceed. Okay, so you have been watching Noorsoft presentation. If anyone has any questions, you can ask them here and he will reply in the chat as best as possible. Any questions from here? Any questions from online?
I would like to ask a question.
Yes, yes, Hirad, please go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. This is Hirad, watching from Zoom. I wanted to put a shout out to Nadim. Nadim, I'm curious to see what Persian items are being now published in Turkey. I'm assuming it's not going to be substantive, but I would love to get a list of Persian and potentially the Kurdish you and I have talked about. But I'm definitely curious about the Persian language items from both the Iranian and Afghan refugees and other communities who live there. As far as Ferdowsi,
Sorry, Hirad, I'm just focusing on questions right now for Noorsoft, if there are any, so that we can.
well, Noorsoft, I have a question. Where are they based? I couldn't tell from that presentation, where are they located? Are they in Iran? Are they in the diaspora?
Okay. Riza, can you answer that question, please? So Riza will type that in the chat. I mean, if I can take the liberty of answering, they're based in Iran, and this is why they're having problems accessing. For Noorsoft, the question is asked from Guy Barak at NYU, would it be possible to subscribe to the ebooks package online? The hard drive arrangement is far from ideal. We'll give Riza a chance to reply.
Also, is there a way of asking a question from Benjamin?
We'll kind of have to just table those questions for the end. I'd like to get through as much of the general presentations as possible. Thanks, Hirad. Okay, so Riza is answering in regards to the question, is it possible to subscribe to the ebooks package online? He says, yes, we can do it. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. So what we'll do now is we will have our final presentation for this session, which is George Fauzi from MELA Books. And then we'll have a few minutes to answer questions for any of the presenters. Okay, thank you. Just need to close this out. Okay, and the presentation is...
Leila is the last one on the, yeah.
This is a clicker to advance your slides. Sure. This is. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is George Fauzi, Laila Books in Cairo, Egypt, and I'm pleased to be here. And I want to congratulate MELA for its 50 years. I remember the first time I attended MELA, this was in 1986. It was in Washington, D.C. at that time. And I recall very well, this was the very first meeting. It was recommended to me by Brenda Beckett from Georgetown at that time. And I didn't know what is MELA, what is MESA, but through the years, I understood and I knew the importance of such meetings, whether it's the MELA and then the MESA. And at that time, I was very active being present to the MESA. So I'm really happy that MELA is celebrating 50 years. It's a lovely organization. And it was good to meet a lot of bibliographers. Some of them are retired, some of them are not here with us. But definitely, it's a great organization, and I'm proud to be a member for 40 years or more. Anyway, now I can start the presentation. Today, I'm going to focus on two topics: the publishing in the Arab world, and like every year, I do a report on the activity of Laila Books during 2021-2022. Publishing in the Arab world, of course, this is my point of view. It might be right, might be wrong, but this is my view on the publishing in general, being always in the market, in the book business, and meeting a lot of publishers and dealing with them. The first challenge is the piracy. Piracy is getting more and more tough in the Arab world, of course, with the pressure of the economic situation. And I recall very well, 3 weeks ago, before coming here, we have a subscription from one of our suppliers in one of the Arab countries to receive around 25 copies of a certain journal. And when we receive it, we found this is not possible. This is what it's printed this way. And by checking carefully, we discovered this was a photocopy of the journal. And of course, we were between two decisions. Shall we return it? It's very expensive. Shall we keep it and distribute it to 25 of our customers? It's not right, because mostly they are institutions all over the world, in Germany, in the UK, in Japan, in the US. So I picked up the phone and I called him. I said, we have a problem here. Do you think this is what is published? Is this the right publishing? At the beginning, it was, yes, this is what we received from the institution that published the journal. And then I said, we will not take it, unfortunately, and we won't be able to take it. And then he said later on, okay, forget it, leave it. I'm going to send you the original copies, and I apologize. I was surprised, frankly speaking, because we could have let go and we didn't pay attention, but it was so obvious that this was a photocopy, but it was a very bad photocopy, to the extent of that we discovered it. And this is an example. It's only 3 weeks ago, and we had another one, but perhaps earlier, with one of the dictionaries. We had an order from Germany for 20 copies of one of the dictionaries that is published in Beirut. And we received it, and we received the copies. But again, it was photocopy, and we couldn't send it. So this kind of
experiences, negative experience, of course, we face it regularly. Do we catch it every time? No, I'm sure. Because with the flow and the number of books and the number of journals that we deal with, sometimes we don't pay attention, and sometimes it's so good that you cannot differentiate between what is originally published and what is a photocopy. So piracy is an issue. What can we do? I mean, not much, I don't think. And it's increasing day after day. Another problem, another challenge that we are facing is the decline of book sales. We have MELA Books, we have, of course, our operation, and then we have also a bookshop. So we sell to the public. And I can see day after day, the numbers are declining. And I can understand, because simply with the economic situation as like everywhere in Turkey, just Nadim was selling right now, there is a problem for people to buy a book. Now, the prices of book, I'm talking here Egypt, jumped big time for many reasons that I will cite it later on. But people don't have the power now, the buying power to buy books like previously. I remember we used to go to Matbuli, for those who knows the market, and you see many people around it. Everybody is buying books and enjoying it. Nowadays, it's not the case. It's because of the decline of sales, of course, it's affecting the book industry. And how to overcome it, of course, it's a big discussion about it, and many times in the newspapers in Cairo and in the TV they speak about it, but I don't think it's easy, because it's for a family who has 2 or 3 kids, it's better that you buy books for the schooling rather than go and buy a book with 150 pounds, a novel or something like that. Another big challenge, censorship. It's a real nightmare. It's a nightmare every time we ship books. I'm not talking importing, I'm talking shipping. We have to take the books, we have to go to the censorship. Previously, we had to go to the general censorship. Then they imposed on us to go also to Al-Azhar to get for the religious books. And now, recently, it has been decided whether it's any kind of book, you have to take the approval of the two, the Azhar and the general censorship. Funny enough, recently, I was just saying this to one of the colleagues here, we ship journals, periodicals, Al-Ahram, regular journals that are sold in the streets of Cairo, everywhere. And it was a large shipment going to one of the institutions. And they said, and now we have also to get the approval. And they said, we want to see the journals and the papers. So I picked up the phone and spoke to the head of this. I said, but these are newspaper journals. I mean, it's everywhere. He said, still, I want to have all the 6 cartons to bring it to me, and we want to check it. So we had to do it. And of course, it was released, there were no problem. But the time consumed and the effort, it's another challenge. Of course, there is another problem, the censorship for the books between the Arab countries, which is affecting the distribution. We receive, of course, because we don't cover only Egypt, we cover the entire Arab world. So we receive from Tunisia, Algeria, Saudi Arabia, even Saudi Arabia, that at a certain point in time I thought it's easy because, I mean, the relation is good, everything is fantastic, or the United Arab Emirates. Still, all the books, they have to go to the censorship, and all this is affecting the distribution of the books between the countries. So this is also, it's affecting the publishers to sell their books. And I will show it to you in one of the slides. Publishers today, unless they rely totally on the book fairs, and now we have every other day we have a book fair of Algeria, of Morocco, Tunisia. Not one single Arabic country is not having a book fair. It's almost every month. So you have the publisher moving from one country to another, carrying their boxes, going there and displaying and all this in order to sell books. So the censorship is a big, big challenge, and it's increasing. I'm not talking only Egypt, it's all over the Arab world. It's all over. Printing cost, it's another challenge. Like Turkey, exactly. We don't have our own paper, so we import paper. And of course, with the challenges of the currency and all these prices of paper is increasing, and it's affecting. So you buy a book today, let's say £100, because I cannot, previously I would say £10, £5. Now it's 100. This is something very, very normal. So we buy a book today at £100. You go in 2 or 3 days, you found it. No, it's 120. Why? It's because of paper. But the book is already published. No, this is the price. So even when it's not the case of printing, but it's the case of the publisher, he wants to increase because the overhead is increasing, everything is increasing. So the prices are jumping. There is no rule anymore in anything. So the printing in the Arab world is among the most expensive in the world. And this, I didn't take it like that. I was just reading through different papers, and it was the statistics that printing in the Arab world is very, very expensive. The highest cost of paper and shipping is shipping also is another problem. Previously, there were the Egyptian post, the post. Now there is no post. It's have to go through courier. And the courier, it's every day, is another price because fuel is increasing, manpower is increasing, currency is increasing. So it's always, it has been this kind of challenge. Again, I'm not talking about Egypt, but I'm talking in general among the entire Arab world. And of course, this is affecting the cost of publication. Decline of printed books. Nowadays, the publishers, previously they would print 1,000 copies, 2,000 copies, now 200 copies. And of course, they enjoy writing al-Taba al-Ula, al-Taba al-Thaniya, even if it's a book of nothing, it's another novel. Because we have novels like everyday novels. But 5th edition, so people said, oh, 5th edition, this is a fantastic book, let's buy it. And then you open it inside, nothing special. But he enjoyed writing At-Taba al-Khamsa, At-Taba al-Satsa. And sometimes even it goes to the Ashra. And then we speak to the publisher, yeah, but I did print 100 copies, 50 copies. So this is something very, it's funny. And people think, oh, should be a very good book if he published 6 editions or 5 editions. So this means it's a very important book. And then you discover it's nothing. There is another thing which I didn't mention here. You have authors today going to the publishers. I want to publish this book, and then the author says, "Well, leave it to me for a few days," and then discover it's nothing. He said, "Sorry, I'll not be able to publish this." I said, "No problem. I'm going to pay for everything." He said, "But I cannot give you anything." He said, "Still, I'll pay for the paper. I pay for the printing, and distribution. Even I will help you." And the publisher would say, "Okay. But how come you do this?" He said, "Yeah, I want to have my book to be not the first, that I publish one book and then I will publish another book and so on." So the authors, in order to be present in the markets, because previously our selection was based, okay, he published 3-4 titles before that, this means it's okay, it's good. Not even that. Of course, the content is very important, which impose that you have to go a little bit through the book to understand and to evaluate. Book distribution. Book fairs represent 52% of book sales. Again, the percentage of 52 is not my figure. It's the figure. I took it from several book fairs, and this was their comments. And this is not a good sign. Book fairs should not be the channel to distribute book. It's not the right way, because people should, you should sell it as a seller, as a publisher, but nowadays it's only based on the book fairs. lack of information. Details of newly published titles are not easy accessible. To get for new titles, it's a challenge. I mean, we have, in Egypt, we have the team that would go around and search for the book, which becoming an expensive exercise. So it's 2 minutes. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'll do quickly. Publishing trends in the Arab words, and I cited here the Arabic literature still is the #1, the Islamic studies 2, modern law surprisingly is #3, history, Arabic language, economics, and you see politics would go to #8. Less and less people are writing about history and about politics and all this. And then I mentioned the number of newly published books during 2021, 2022, and I cited the numbers based on our selection first edition, quality scholarly books and all this. Our organization, still we mentioned the number, I mentioned the number of employees, the technology, the different departments in our company, and our activities. We covered monographs from 22 countries, and the number of new published books we covered from the Arab words around 12,000 titles. We acquired books from different countries, and we attended several book fairs, whether in Egypt or elsewhere. The cataloging system services and shelf ready, we do it, we provide it, as you can see it. And we sent during 2021-22, 392 lists for books and 18 lists for new serials. Periodical services, we cover 1,006 periodicals on a subscription basis from 21 different Arab countries. And we are serving around 48 universities library worldwide, and 3 public libraries, and 9 subscription agents, including EPSICO and etc. Thank you very much.
I think we have a few minutes for questions. So if anyone would like to ask a question of George or any of our previous presenters, now is your time.
My name is Huda Datum, Library of Congress. I have a question for Labiba and Libra and Layla also. I just wonder if you have any books or journals or material being published during the Ottoman time in Saudi Arabia and Yemen and the Gulf area. Or something being published about them later on, like modern books, but being published about that era?
I think, yes, it should be. I cannot answer yes, we have it or not, but if we search, and I believe, yes, I believe so. But it needs a research. We need to look into the market, the out-of-print markets. I think yes.
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you.
This is Nathan from Libra. We don't have books from the era, but we have certainly books that we can recommend on the subject, modern printed books, and I can send you a list after this meeting.
Nadim, since you have the mic, this is Hirad again. Just want to say that there was a question for you in the chat as well from Dale. She was asking, has the new paper factory had any positive impact on paper prices? This is one. And then my own question to you was, essentially for the Persian material coming out of Turkey. I would love to see if you have potentially a list. And of course, we've talked about Kurdish before, but I'm curious if there is more Kurdish happening now or less.
The new
Turkey,
paper
in
factory
Turkey. Yeah, go
is
ahead.
not active, so there is no impact on the paper prices. In fact, the paper prices are continuing to increase. And it's expected that there will be a 20% increase on book prices over the next month. In terms of the Persian and Farsi language books, I can certainly send you a list after this meeting. Also Kurdish language books as well.
Çok teşekkürler.
Hello, this is Zizi from Labiba Kitab Abu.
Yeah.
Can you hear?
Hi, Ziza. Go ahead. We can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Asked me about the publication. Yes, we have a list of publication for Saudi and Yemen, and I will share the list after this meeting.
Okay, Joan Weeks, Library of Congress again. I'm looking at some of the publications I'm seeing with Ottoman Turkish, and sometimes it's an old Ottoman Turkish document and it's translated into modern Turkish, but I'm more interested in what kind of publishing is being done in the actual Ottoman Turkish language, not in modern Turkish about the Ottoman Empire. So if both Leila Books and Libra Books and all of you about what kind of Ottoman Turkish publishing's going on.
This is Nedim from Libra again. The Turkish Manuscript Agency, Yazma Eserler Kurumu, is publishing old manuscripts in its original language, republishing them. So that's one thing. And there are some publishers who republish old Ottoman Turkish literary classics in their original language. So those are available as well as reprints of the original material.
I have a question, if I may. George, this is actually for you. So my first MELA was in 2001. And I remember in that year, we had a panel from MESA in which you gave a presentation along with some other colleagues about the situation of publishing, not just in Egypt, but the Arab world. And now, after all this time, I find it interesting that those are kind of the same problems that still exist today, especially with the cost of paper. It seems that everyone says, and even for our colleagues in Turkey, they also say it's the cost of paper. But here's the funny looking thing. It always seems that the book fairs are getting bigger. Cairo Book Fair, as you know, is now in its new location. It's bigger than ever. There are people attending. So as a book seller, what's the business gain? I'm trying to imagine how anyone is making money with all these conditions, why anyone would want to continue to be a bookseller in our part of the world. And I wonder if you can shed some light on that industry.
That's a very good question. Why? First of all, most of the publishers at the book fairs, they don't rely on the walking clients, the retail one. They rely on institutions to buy. And you notice that 70% of the institutions in the Arab world previously, now it's changing. It was very easy for them. Okay, here is a lagna, come from XYZ country. We have a bunch of money and we start spending and deals will happen. and arrangement will happen, and they buy bulky. And that's how they built. I'm not saying everybody, but big part of the institutions, I'm talking the Arab world, they would buy this way. The acquisition and the continuity in collecting books, it doesn't, I mean, it's not known in the Arab world, in the universities, library and all that. They don't know it. They know only the fair, we go, we buy, and then they leave it there, and after that it's cataloging, etc., etc. So yeah, exactly. But so that's why that's publisher. They're relying 70%, 80%, and they make money. Everybody, I mean, it's living. It's an industry in itself. So I hope this answer the question. The walk-in client, never. You cannot rely on the walk-in because they would buy 1 book, 2 books. You cannot make a living if you have stuff, you have printing, you have this. You cannot make a living out of it. And I always take the example of the bookshop business. That's you don't cover even the 2 employees working there. Okay, thank you.
There's a note here, a comment on John's question.
Thank you, George. Okay, the question in the chat. Oh, it's a comment. Okay. Acetane is a good source for those Ottoman reprints. Okay, that's fine. All right.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, if it's possible to speak with either Benjamin or Reza. I don't know if that's a possibility. Or no?
Somehow I doubt it.
Okay, then I'll contact them offline. No worries.
Thank you. Thank you, Arad. Okay, Ryan.
Thank you. Ryan Zohar, Georgetown University. I was just wondering for any of the vendors if the cooperative collecting initiatives that we've been talking about this week have affected operations at all or have shifted your strategies at all. Thank you.
Does anyone want to answer that? No, we're answering questions. Does anyone do it? Okay.
Yes, it did. It did. Not a big percentage, but to some extent, yes. To answer the question, instead of selling, for example, 10 copies, 5, it's 8, 7. But would it go lower than that? No, because speaking to many institutions, it's not there is no mechanism up till now that a successful mechanism that is in place. People are talking, I hear this from 10 years ago, that but results, not much. Unless if you go buying a big set was costing $500, $600, here it's different story. You'll have perhaps instead of 5 copies, you'll have 2 copies, 3 copies. But in general, no.
Okay, we have time for one last question for this session, and then if it's okay, I'd like to carry on with our presenters. Everyone online? Hey.
Thank you. I'm Mohamed Salhi from the Library of Congress. I have a question for something you mentioned about the costs of shipping as that being a major cost, and that you have to ship. I mean, this is just for my own curiosity. Why can't you use the local mail, for example, to decrease the costs of shipping, say in Egypt or in Turkey or something? Yeah, instead of courier service, which is...
On microphone.
They're out of business. They don't do this. Yeah. I'm talking Egypt. Yeah, no. So it's they don't do it anymore. They're doing sort of banking. They're doing other services, but mailing in the sense of mailing, no. You have to. It's because they made a deal, and you have to go through the courier. If you go there, previously we used to do all our shipping through the Egyptian post. It's not the case now. They say, sorry, we don't do it. You go to courier. Yeah.
All right, if it's okay, I'd like to forge ahead. And up next are our colleagues from Eastview. Yes, of course there is food and drink here, so those of you on site, please do feel free to take your share of that. Thank you.
If you reduce Zoom, just reduce. Okay, so we need to close this one.
And I think
Yours, yeah, yours is on the desktop. And then did you know how to share?
I
If
can certainly
not,
figure it out.
it's right here. Share screen. You choose the screen that you want to share. It's this one. And then you can make it a presentation.
Oh, is it morning or afternoon yet? Oh. Okay. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. As mentioned, we are from Eastview Information Services. My name is Chris Franz. I'm a sales and account representative here, and I work primarily with customers in the Southeast United States, as well as our customers abroad in the Middle East, the Middle East, Oceania, and East Asia.
My name is Karina Milosevic, and I'm a sales and account manager for Eastview, working with our customers on the eastern part of the United States, as well as the eastern part of Canada.
And I'm sure most of you are familiar with Eastview already, but for those who aren't, we are an information services provider located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We specialize in bringing to the West books, journals, newspapers, atlases, maps, census data, both in print and digital format. We service libraries in the academic sector, as well as government and museums. So today we're going to talk about a couple news items from Eastview, including from the Cambridge Archive editions, the Global Press Archive, and our geospatial updates. So first up is the Cambridge Archive editions. The big news here is that this is now owned and managed by Eastview. It's been incorporated under our umbrella. We hope this will make us more mobile and able to expand the portfolio and accelerate the production of new sets. As always, the existing portfolio is always available online, and we have print stock available as well. Currently, there are, I think, 141 different sets, 114 of which cover the Middle East and North African region. With the print stock, as I mentioned, we have print stock available. I'm sure your libraries have collected these sets over the years, and over the years, maybe some sets have gotten damaged. Maybe some have walked off campus, never to return again. We can work with you to provide new copies of your missing issues. We can work with you to provide older editions. If you happen to have editions from previous imprints, we can certainly help to supply those issues as well. Since all of the print stock has been relocated to the United States, everything ships from the United States, so we hope that will prevent any kind of lags with shipping or uncertainty in logistics. Continuing on, we do offer all sets available online. The all access offer is something we started in 2020 with the pandemic as a way to make it easier for libraries to acquire larger quantities of the content. This is a single package offering access to all currently published editions. As it says on the slides, over 1,000 volumes and nearly 700,000 pages of content. If your library has already purchased some of the online editions, we can certainly talk and we'll credit you for any of your previous acquisitions. And very exciting news is a new title being released early next year, Egypt and the Rise of Nationalism. This is a new set that we expect to be released in late March of 2023. Through April 1st, 2023, we're offering a pre-publication discount, as well as discount to any customers that have purchased the Al-Aram Digital Archive. This will be a set that is published exclusively online. It is the equivalent to about 20 volumes of print material. It's going to be the first collection to be featured on our new platform. The new platform will have faster search and display options. It will have rich tagging and metadata, and there will be several more collections in the MENA region being released on this platform as well. We'll have a full publishing schedule available sometime around April of next year. This one is not a new collection. We've offered this for a few years now, but I wanted to remind the crowd about it. The Afghan Partisan Publications from the Wadat Library. This is a collection of 46 newspapers and journals published in Afghanistan. And it tracks the publishing activity of various partisan groups through the very late 60s up through the early 2000s. And with that, I'll pass the mic to Karina to cover our newspapers.
Thanks, Chris. Okay, so we also offer, as part of our Global Press Archive program, we offer several titles that you may already be aware of. The digital archives for Al-Haram and Jumhuriyet, as well as the Afghan Central Press. I think the first two you are familiar with, obviously, but in terms of the Afghan Central Press, that brings together 4 national Kabul-based publications with content starting from 1927. It covers important developments in Afghan history, including the fall of the Kingdom of Afghanistan, the rise of the Republic of Afghanistan, the Soviet invasion, the rise of the Mujahideen, the establishment of the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, the invasion by the US, and Reconstruction. So that includes titles in Dari, Pashto, and English. And our CRL Alliance, we also offer open access collections, as many of you know, as well as collections that are available solely to CRL members. Many of you have contributed to this effort, and as a result of your contributions, we've been able to make so much content available from the Middle East in an open access format. So our MENA collections, we have Middle Eastern and North African newspapers from 1870 to 1972, includes 79 titles, 300,000 pages. And this is open access, includes content from Lebanon, Syria, Algeria, Iraq, and Morocco. We also have the Middle Eastern and North African newspaper collection that is available only to CRL members. That is because much of the content is still in copyright. And that includes 5 in copyright titles from Lebanon, Jordan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Israel, Palestine. And then I realize many of you do not necessarily cover these areas of the world, but as somebody mentioned, I think yesterday, some of you have taken on sort of the Frankenstein-like roles and titles. So for those of you who have expanded roles and are covering South Asia and or Southeast Asian newspapers, we also have titles covering that area, and it includes Pakistan, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and the Philippines. So we also have, just a reminder for those of you who are CRL members, keep in mind that all of our files for the CRL collections are deposited with CRL for long-term preservation and digital humanities use, including text and data mining. We also offer 25% discounts and sometimes more on the Global Press Archive commercial releases. And then we also, many of you may not be aware, we offer our best, most aggressive discounts on custom digitization projects to our CRL members. So this would allow you, if you have ephemeral collections or collections that you only have in paper that you would like to have in digital format, we can certainly work with you to do that. And we really specialize in foreign language content, and we can help you. We have a variety of models that are available to make digital content available. We'd be happy to work with you to provide you with information and or a quote if you have any projects in mind that you would like to explore the possibility of putting in digital format. So thank you to our CRL members. We wanted to really just let you know how much we appreciate your contributions, both the financial contributions of your institutions that have been able to make this content available to the world, as well as your contributions in terms of helping to determine the content that is made available by this program. Your input is very important, and we really appreciate it. I should also just mention that for our CRL collections, even the open access collections, we do offer free MARC records. So if you have any questions about and you want to make sure that content is discoverable on your platform, we can let you know how to access those MARC records so you can make that content available. So the CRL Alliance, in terms of what is forthcoming, we would love to talk to you more about that at the MEEP meeting next week. But just want to mention that there are plenty of opportunities to provide feedback. There's still, I think, 1 million pages available for digitization that haven't been accounted for or allocated to a specific region or program. And so, so this is an opportunity for you to provide some input if you have any ideas on countries, languages, time periods that you'd like to see, or specific publications. We'd love to get your input. Feel free to discuss it and or reach out to your CRL liaison at your respective institution, and they can get in touch with CRL to start discussing feasibility. CRL takes the input and suggestions from the area studies folks very seriously, and so there are opportunities to contribute to that effort. So we also offer, again, I realize many of you are not necessarily responsible for maps or census materials, but wanted to let you know we offer GIS census data as part of our Global Census Archive program from Egypt and Iran. We have more to come. We have more Iran data. So right now we have census data from Iran from 2011. We're going to be adding census data from Iran from 2016 in the next year. We will also be adding census data from Egypt from 2017, or that we already have, but Israel from 2008 to be released in the coming year. And this image, as you can see, is data visualization of literacy rates over Luxor using the census data from the Global Census Archive. So that just gives you a sense of some of the things you can see and do with that material. Terrain analysis, that is something published by Eastview Press. It reports found on the Verso side of Russian military topographic map series. There's coverage of Afghanistan, Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria. And we also have other countries available on request. And so if you have a GIS if you're interested, you think it would be helpful to your faculty or researchers, and you have a GIS librarian, you can happily, if you want to refer them to Eastview or let us know, we would be happy to work with them. We provide trial data so that you can get a sense of the look and feel for it. We also have Levant geodata covering Israel, the Palestine region, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and the Sinai Peninsula. And then we have a new book from Eastview Press, The Mapping of Israel. Bibliography, Finding Aid and Index, Volume 1, Topographic Map Series 1915 to 1970. So this is something that we are publishing in collaboration with Michael Brown, a GIS and mapping expert covering that region. And so that is something we offer, and it's the first in a series of many more editions to come. We also offer serials. We have our serials catalog available. We also offer books, and that's, you can see our email address to contact us about specific books. We really specialize in, I would say, Central Asia and the Caucasus, but may be able to cover other areas depending on what you're looking for. And there we go. We appreciate your interest.
2 minutes?
I mean, if you want,
Oh.
if you want to answer the question.
Yeah, so we are available for questions if there are any in the audience.
Michael Hopper from Harvard asks, for Eastview, when will you be releasing the Ahram Digital for 2020 and 2021 and for Cumhuriyet for 2021?
Right, thanks for the question, Michael. So that will, both of those will be available shortly. With Al-Haram and Cumhuriyet both, we experienced some delays due to COVID and accessing the sort of raw materials, but that is being worked on now and should be available, very, very shortly. I can get you an exact time frame as well. When we get back to the office, I can certainly ask about that.
Hi, Ryan Zohar, Georgetown University. I know you mentioned that the Egypt and Rise of Nationalism collection will be coming out on a new platform, and I'm sorry if I missed this, but will the old collections be migrating to that new platform as well?
I believe that is the case, but I can't confirm that right now.
And then I had a second question, and this is just, I might not be familiar enough to know this, but I know that you mentioned that text as data is available for CRL members for the MENA newspapers premium collection. I know that the complementary collection is text searchable in large part. Is the textual data available for data mining projects for that as well for non-CRL members, or is that limited to CRL members?
I think for non-CRL members, access to the text and data, this information is housed at CRL on their servers, so that would need to be coordinated with CRL.
Okay, for the complementary collection as well. Okay, thank you.
Can I ask a question from online?
Yes, of course.
Okay, one question with the Afghan newspapers you showcased, 4 that you mentioned. I noticed Anis and Islah from the image and Kabul Times. Could you give me an idea what all the 4 titles are? That's one. And then for the Cambridge series, I'm curious to see if essentially you will have a booth at MESA so we can go through the list of different series that are available. I know that there was one that was going to be released by them on the Shah and 40 years documenting, and electronic versions would be more feasible because of the space issue. So that's it.
Yes, so we will be having a booth at MESA in the next couple days. You can come talk to me. With Cambridge, I believe we'll probably have some print material for you to take home with you if you want. As for the series Return of the Shah, that has already been released. It is available digitally, and yeah, we'd be happy to provide you with a price quote.
And then, yes, our booth at MESA is booth number 40. I think the titles you're asking about are from the Afghan Central Press. So that includes Anis. I apologize if my pronunciation is off.
It's perfect.
Oh, great. Hewad, Kabul Times, that one I got right, and Islah.
Yeah, Hewad, you said it just right. Thank you.
Ahmed Mustafa, Library of Congress, Cairo office. You mentioned about the Ahram. Is this a project that's going on with the Ahram microfilm from Egypt, or is this something different that you are doing it microfilming yourself and SView?
I believe right now we are sourcing newer issues from microfilm, and this would be something that we are doing in-house.
Oh, so you will be doing the microfilming in-house?
I believe so.
Yeah, because in 2019, I think you had a project with Al-Ahram Microfilm, and you was allowing access to their archiving system and their PDF and their microfilming formats. Is this still ongoing project, or?
That I'm not entirely sure about.
You can certainly look.
Yeah, we can look into it and let you know.
Okay, so what you are doing now is you are doing the microfilm or the access for the Al-Ahram through your institution, and you are doing either the PDF search, make them searchable, or the microfilm?
It's PDF format.
It's still PDF format? Okay, okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Person? Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Hello, good morning. My name is Mustafa Ekber, and I'm from Istanbul, and my company name is LibraCons. This is my fourth MELA meeting. I'm glad to be back live with the librarians together. So I hope it goes on in live sessions.
PowerPoint is on here.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Thank you. So do I?
Yes, you just advance by pressing space.
Okay, thank you. We've been offering and providing collections of rare books and material related from Turkey, from Ottoman times, and from the neighboring countries. And some of them we have already shared in the previous meetings. I will repeat some of them. Okay. Oh. And I will explain some new approaches and some new collections that might be of interest. Firstly, I will show you how we have been developing our systems. Why am I not? I'm so useless with these. I'm sorry. I just. With this. Okay, we've been collecting bits and pieces of journals, books, ephemera, and old documents, and developing new ways to put them together in a presentable way. We have been trying to be more useful in presenting them with the new systems needed, with the new technologies. And we are trying to make sure that we are presenting metadata and oops. Okay. Oops. Oh. Okay, great. Well, no. I don't know what. Oh, anyhow, let's go on with this issue. How do I skip this? Yeah. Okay. Well, simply careful shelving is the way to start with it. That's going to. Okay. What we have been trying to do recently is to make sure that our presentations are with detailed metadata and OCLC references and MARC records if available. And this is not very easy with some of the material, but we are working on it. Some of the collections that we have put together recently are here. Some of them are available. Some of them are partly available. And some of them are simply not. For example, this on education and ethnicities, education in Turkey was presented several times, and it evolved. It with some additions, and it's not here anymore. Some of the rare books that we keep are in our stock are always available. They are not listed all over the place, but we would like to report to whoever is interested in such material. Some of the modern collections like fanzines and comics are being developed and are available already. And some collections are of special interest, like for example, the Judaica in Republic Turkey, an ephemeric collection of Judaica, evolved into another partly evolved into a collection of the academics in exile in Turkey, with the books that have not been available up to now, with the documentation to go with it. Some of the collections are really interesting, like the musical notes of anthems and military marches from the very beginning in the 19th century. has been put together. And this one, which has been presented earlier, has been sold partially, and now has evolved into the poster and ephemera collection of the leftist movements from '68 onwards. This is a major collection that we have put together recently. Sopi Barakat is the first president of the Republic of Syria from 1921. And we have come up with the whole estate of the president, who was father-in-law of the Turkish foreign minister Halefoğlu, and it's become a very interesting collection of 500 pieces, and I have some more information for anybody who would be interested in looking through. The history of humor in Turkey was a major collection. Now the main part of it's gone, but some parts having to do with comics and recent publications are available with the original artwork. We have a wide collection of magazines from late Ottoman up to date, from humor to politics, and we can send lists to anyone who would be interested in the ones that they wouldn't have them in their libraries. This is another line that we've been working on, the fanzines and avant-garde publications and journals. And my glasses are on. And for ephemera collections, we have put together some postcards and image collections, helping some projects for certain areas or certain subjects, like we were able to come up with a collection of the Ottoman tombs all around the Middle East, 150 postcards together, and it's in one of the libraries. But for several collections, we have some collections of images like postcards or engravings or just photographs. One of the examples is this Hagia Sophia images. Sometimes a church, sometimes a museum, nowadays a mosque. Hagia Sophia is a very important issue, of course. We have come up with something like 500 images of postcards, original postcards, original photographs, and the like. This collection is recently has become available, and some other samples, regional samples of such ephemera. I would like to congratulate MELA for the 50 years. I'm glad I have become a part of it only recently, but I hope it will go on forever. That's about it.
Thank you. Are there any questions? We have a couple minutes for questions. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, up next is Manzuma. That's...
Which one? فيصل؟ لا انت مش فاتح. لا مش هنا، كله مش هنا. انت فاتح. افتح افتح فيصل. طيب يمكن فيصل شو فيصل يمكن. ايوه هو ده. كيف we can go back and forth with this one. So this is fine. Okay, back. Okay. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Good morning, everyone. I would like to first to thank MELA for giving this opportunity to me to be speaking to you this morning. And there is a special thanks to my friend Muhammad Hamid for all the support and cooperation and patience. Also, don't forget William for the same. I'm Faisal Al-Shuaish from the CRM from Dar al-Mandouma. I'll be speaking today about Dar al-Mandouma. Dar al-Mandouma is a Saudi company based on Riyadh. It was first by the two professors from Imam bin Saud University in Riyadh. They are the founder of the Al-Mandouma databases. So we have Dar al-Mandouma is the name of the company. Al-Mandouma is the name of the databases of the product. I will speak about the types of content that are available in our databases. We have three kinds of content. The first one is academic journal researchers. The second type of content is seminars and conferences proceedings. The third kind the third type of content is dissertations. So we have only three kinds of content. There is no other type of contents available. We are concentrating on these three types of content. The databases, we have 6 databases. The first one was released in 2008. Please remember this date. This year, I will talk about it later. The first database was EduSearch in education and sociology. The second database is Ecolink in economy and administration. The third database is Islamic Info in Islamic and legal studies. The fourth database, Arab base in language and literature. The fifth database is in humanities in general. The last one is Al-Manduma dissertations. They are all in Arabic language, or majority, let's say, in Arabic language from all over the Arab world. I'll give you an overview at the statistics of the content in Dar al-Manduma. We have more than 2,640 conferences title. We have over than 2,400 journal title and over than 1,590,000 dissertations. We have been collecting these contents from over than 400 institutes around the Arab world. So we are talking about over than 1,260,000 documents in Dar al-Manduma between studies and dissertations. They are all in Arabic, or the majority in Arabic, because some journals are bilingual, published in the Arab world, especially in the North Africa. They have sometimes French and Arabic, and other countries have English and Arabic. So 70% of that, the total content, is available in full text. The rest is an abstract and information. It is abstracts and bibliographical information. Okay, I'll go just fast on the content overview. You can see here the EduSearch, and on the left you will see the researches, the count of researches and studies, and on the right you have the number of journals and conferences. This is EduSearch. This is Ecolink, the same. We have also Islamic Info, Arab base. I'll just go quickly. They have Humanity and Human Index. We have Al-Manduma dissertation database. We have over than 159,000 dissertations, also in Arabic language. We are covering most of the Arab world. So we have some contents are from other countries. For instance, we have some from Malaysia, from Indonesia, from Turkey, from Europe also, but the majority are from the Arab world. From our journal, this is 2 points I would like to highlight, and it is very important. It has never been an easy business for us, actually, in Dar al-Manduma to collect that content. Actually, building such a database with over 1,260,000 documents requires effort and hard work. Most of the content we are targeting belong to governmental institutes. When we are talking about government, we are talking about bureaucracy, delay in decision, and a long process. So it's never been an easy job for us. We have been working for almost 40 years. Some of the journals we have been purchasing and chasing for over than 10 years so far, and we still not succeeded in that. Also, there is another point I would like to highlight also. Also, you can see that MELA is working for over 50 years so far, just to overcome these obstacles we are facing now. And Dar al-Manduma is not an exception. To be more optimistic, we started at 2008. I told you to remember this year. We started at 2008 with our first database. That means we started before the conflicts in the Arab world started in 2010. So we were able to collect so many important journals and conferences and dissertations that will be cannot be found in this moment, because most of the resources were destroyed by the damage of wars, unfortunately. So this is what makes Dar al-Manzuma unique. We have some journals back to 1920s. They were not available now in hard copy anymore. Some of the publishers get to contact us again just to get some of the issues that are missing in their journal. Okay, there's another important thing I would like to speak about is how to connect, how to get to Dar al-Manzuma database. These are two methods of connection and exploring. It's all institutional access. Only we have no access for individuals. So for the first way of access is the direct access. You just go to Dar al-Manzuma link and visit our website and our portal. You will be identified by the IB range of your institute, so you can access in campus by identifying your IB range of your university or your college. There will be no username and password. This will be configured between the IT department between Dar al-Manzuma and the institute. The second way of accessing is indirect access using referral URL. This will help you to access off campus also through your institute or your college portal. There should be a username and password given you by your college or your university. Okay. Also, how can you index our metadata to be found in your own catalog, in your library catalog? There's so many, there are around 6 discovery solutions. Our data are already indexed in their systems. We have Muse, EBSCO, ProQuest, WorldShare, Exlibris, and also if you don't have any of these system in your library, you can also use the API protocol to connect directly between our databases and your own catalog. This is the interface of our database. This is the Arabic interface. Also, you have English. You can convert to the English interface. Also, there is a tool for you if you don't have an Arabic keyboard. There is a virtual keyboard will appear to you. You can use the Arabic keyboard to search about any subject. This is our list of our customers. We have over maybe 20 customers around the world are using our databases. This is a quick. Also, we have just lately in last January we joined CRL consortium, and we have over around 22 universities so far, including Berkeley for sure. This is the university. You can see some of the logos here. This is about our customers are enjoying now our databases. Also, the last thing I would like to say, if you are planning to attend MESA conference, please visit us at our booth number 37. I'll be there all the time. I can have, if you have any question, you can give you even a chance to try our databases there, and we give you also a free trial if you like. Thank you. I think this is all. If you have any questions.
You can leave this with you.
Okay.
Any questions in person?
Huda Dayton, Library of Congress. I have a question regarding the discovery. You mentioned that if we have like EBSCO, we can access Al-Mandouma. We can access your database, the Arabic database.
No, this is a discovery solution that you can find our metadata indexed in your.
I see. I can find it, but I cannot access full text.
Yeah, no, unless you have a subscription. Or,
I see. Okay. I have another question. You have a bundle, so do you have to have the whole package, or we can just select?
No, you can for sure. You can select the bundles you want.
The database.
The database you want. You have one. As more as you take, as less you can get.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Ryan Zohar, Georgetown University. I was just wondering if the current American institutions that subscribe to Al-Mandouma are all through CRL. And then I also just wanted to note that I've noticed that in the Arabic Citation Index from Web of Science, very often the indexed articles there also link out to Al-Mandouma as the first stop for full text. So that's great as well. But I was wondering about the American institutions, if it's all currently through CRL or if there are individual institution subscriptions as well.
So now we encourage you to go through CRL. It will be financially better for you. We have a very good prices with CRL. If you go individually, the prices maybe change.
Thank you.
Other questions? I can speak a little bit about the CRL arrangement that we had last year. It had been kind of a plan or an idea in our minds to really get to Al-Mandouma. I know it's very expensive and it was not easy to get to Al-Mandouma accessible to anyone in the US. I approached Faisal 4 years ago. And they were kind enough to give me a discount as the first one to contact them in the US for Berkeley. From that time, I definitely know Faisal, and they were very kind and generous for all their support. And then we talked among each other as librarians, some librarians from the East Coast and me as well as the only one have access to it. We talked about it, and then we were able to join or actually ask CRL to be the coordinator for some effort that we have. And we were able, with CRL effort, to have a consortium deal with Mandouma database. So we have more than 22 libraries now in that consortium deal. And because of that, we were able to drop the price very sharp from very high to down. I cannot say the price now, but you can actually get the details from CRL because they are the managing the agreement.
It's very affordable, I assure you for that.
I guess this will be a question for you, Mohammed, but is it too late to enter the CRL consortial deal with Mandouma? And then, and is it going to expire? Is it on a time basis right now?
It's never late, so you can join the agreement. We had, I think, the agreement started for 3 years, so we started last year. So if you decide to join now, you would get to pay for the 2 year, or if you go in for year by year, you still have that as an option as well. So if you pay for year by year, the price is a little bit different than paying for 3 years. But if you go in the deal, it will be kind of a 2 year commitment for you as a new member. But for us, it was 3 year commitment.
So you would need the CRL membership and then the Manduma deal membership.
I think it's yes, but there is some way to go around that, because we know in the consortium we have some libraries are not CRL members.
Okay, great.
And they are still part of the agreement.
Great.
Yeah. Other questions? Other questions from online?
Also, there are brochures outside. Also, we have some brochures in Arabic and English outside if you like to have a overview of our content and some statistics and so on. This is so. Yes, thank you, William. Some of them are in Arabic and some of them in English. Yes, Arabic and English. Thank you very much. Thank you, William. Thank you.
I think also we should make special mention that this year Manzuma was a great supporter for this MELA conference, and the fact that we are enjoying a hybrid model was, if it wasn't for your support, we would not have been able to lock that in. So let's give an extra round of applause for Manzuma. And from our online colleagues, they should also be putting their clap hands icon up or something. Okay. Up next now is Mohammed Agman from Syria Books. Yes.
Trying to sign to my website. It's SyrianBooks.com.
Can type it in. Yeah.
Hello. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Muhammad Daghman, and I'm here representing Syrian Books. Syrian Books is currently located in New York City, where we have a showroom and an office and a warehouse where people can come and see, or you can Zoom and we can show you what we have. We also have a location in Latakia, Syria, where it's our hub where we collect stuff from all over Syria and bring it to Latakia, and from Latakia, we smuggle it outside of the country. Sorry. First of all, about myself, I have a Middle Eastern background. I went to graduate school in Middle Eastern Studies, worked at Bob's Library. My boss was Merrill Gaston. And after I finished my stint at the graduate school, I went and I started, my first name was Al Jabal, it wasn't Syrian Book, around the year 2000. So from then, since I was working in the library, I was watching what Layla was sending, Suleiman, and all of this. I decided I'm not going to be there, try to push them out. I try to collect stuff they do not collect. As Mr. Fawzi said, most of the Syrian publishers now, about 10 of them, they travel from book fair to book fair. So all of these guys' books are in every library. So I do not bother myself and go buy more than one copy of these guys just for some customers and for research reasons. Like we always like to have whatever is published in Syria. So we always do like to have one copy of it, at least. We try to reach to areas outside the reach of the government. Sometimes we get stuff from Idlib. People don't, we get stuff from Qamishli sometimes, we get stuff from other parts of Syria. But we are in Latakia, and we are strong in Aleppo, Sweda, Homs, and all the small cities on the coast, where we love to discover new publishers. We did this many times. In Syria, there are two kinds of publishing. People who publish with Nainawa, Takwin, all the big guys, and there are some people who publish for themselves. And some of these books are really good, especially novels, and some of them publish like political books. So we are specialized with all of these books that are not, they don't like circulate a lot. So, and then when we saw all the decline in like book sales and all book products, we turned our attention to buying special collections. Because now the war in Syria made it very easy for people to buy books, like used books, really good used books. So now, like me knowing what are the trends in Middle Eastern studies, we go for people who have, for example, Ba'athi books. So I was in Syria a month ago. I bought 3 collections of Ba'athi books, like about 600 kilos. All the like small pamphlets, everything like Ba'ath publishes like interiorly, like material they circulate among themselves. So these are the people whom we are trying to target. Like we are trying to target people who collect books published by the army, Al-Idara Siyasiyya, because those will never make it into a book fair. So this is our specialty. Our specialty, Ba'ath books, underground books, literature, posters, ephemera, everything kind of, you don't see it with anybody else. And then COVID came. But before COVID, we have ideas to make our own digital library. So we started, ourselves PDFing all the rare stuff we see. Like stuff, instead of, sending it to a library and the library give it to Hati Trust, I'm sorry to say that. And then we started PDFing ourselves, building our own archives, So slowly now we have about 7,000 titles of Syrian journals. About half of them we cataloged, we PDF'd and digitized ourselves. We have almost every journal, we do it ourselves. We have, in Syria we digitize, and in New York we digitize. And we, last year we did a test, because we not only collect books, like the posters we have, we digitize them. So we have art. We go to art fairs, we go to art galleries, we get their catalogs. Now we start cataloging them. The other things we do also is we collect music, we collect photographs, and we collect like any kind of documents. Like music, we have a lot, I will make a list and I will share it with everybody. A lot of this music is old Syrian music and most likely is not copyrighted. And some of these guys, like popular singers, we don't go after Sabah Fakhri. No, we go after Fuad Faqro from the village, so and so. So we really collect like the underground, the periphery, because all the libraries for many, many years, you get everything from Syria. But the little things, nobody pays attention to. So now we have a very good video collection. We have a very good audio collection. We have photographs. All of these are digital. Last year, we did a test run on a website with subscription. I always consult with Guy and Sean from Duke, and they tell me this is doable, this is not doable, because first I had great ideas. I wanted to make a website, everybody can subscribe, or every student, but they said, no, you cannot do this. So now we scaled down. After we built the website, it was called SyrianBooksOnline.com. We built it up and we put our photos, our books, because PDFs takes a very small space. It's almost nothing. So you can put endless PDFs on your website. So that is our main job right now. We also we collect books, videos, documentaries. We, everything is made in Syria that you guys may never get. Because there is Fawzi and all these guys, so we cannot push them out, but we want to complement what they do. So that's why we are building our library. So to go back again to what we collect from Syria in terms of books, We really specialize in like Alawite, Nusayri Alawite books, Druze books, Ismaili books. We go to As-Salamiyya every 2-3 weeks to get books because, you know, a lot of people want Ismaili books. So we like Druze books, Sufi books. We even collected the Islamic State PDFs, right? We truly have an incredible, like probably we have all of their lectures, all of their PDFs, all their books. We have all their songs. We did not want all of the Syrian events go in front of ourselves without archiving whatever we see. We have thousands of videos. We have a big library. But what we are trying to do is we are trying to find people who want to work with us. So far, I found private investors who really liked my idea because everybody now is trying to build a digital library. But me, I came from like a university background. I don't want to deal a lot with like investors, corporate investors, hedge funds, and all of this. I don't know that language. So we would like to have like some sort of cooperation with universities. They can have access to our archives, and then we can, help and build it more. The biggest thing we dealt with is legal issue. Yesterday, you guys were talking about legalities. In Syria, we applied to distribute whatever, Al-Bas. We paid a lot of money to a lawyer. He said, you have connections. We went to higher ups. They say, we give you no permits. You can go do whatever you want with these books. Do whatever you want with them, but we are not going to give you a signed paper, So that is that for the government books. They will not give you what you may call it, a release, so you can use it. We collect every journal they make. Sometimes we digitize them. We say, please let us do it. We are making publicity for you. They say, no, we cannot give you this. So now we are in limbo. But we keep on going. We keep on building our library. We don't listen to them. We are from Syria. We don't really believe too much in law over there. We believe in law here. I'm sorry to say that, but over there, like everybody put it on the other guy. So we didn't get any definitive answer. What can we do with our archives? So that is whom we are, and we have a booth number 38. We are your neighbor, and if you guys want to come and look about, I brought some stuff. We couldn't bring a lot because I'm from New York, and it's a big deal. Sorry about the air here is bothers me in Denver. Anyway, but if anybody have any questions, I'm here, or you can come and see me, and we can we provide lists, we transliterate, we give our transliteration for free. Our lists are we are there to help universities more so than to try and get the biggest piece of the market, basically. Thank you. Any questions? Oh wait, no. Who has the microphone?
Okay, you said you have a lot of stuff that's digitized. Do you also sell hard copy, or is it primarily a database?
Well, yes. Well, last year we digitized some parliament sessions. So we also printed them, but we printed 5 copies. We because we don't have the rights to do them. So sometimes we do it and we sell them to specific people. Now we are working on the parliament sessions from 0 to 100 and something. Last year we digitized from 39 to the one 1950.
No, my question is, so this is primarily a database that you need to...
We have a database and we have actual physical books.
That's my question. Yeah.
Yes.
That's my question.
We are specialized in both.
Okay.
So all of our day we are collecting physical books and posters and everything connected to Middle Eastern studies. And then at the same time, we have been working on our digitization project for 4 years so far.
Huda Dayton, Library of Congress. I have a question regarding the subject area. You said you have everything about Syria and published in Syria, mainly Ba'athi party. So is it the Ba'athi Syrian party, or you have also the Iraqi?
Sometimes we get some Iraqi stuff. Sometimes we get like حزب البعث القيادة القومية فرع فلسطين.
I see.
Sometimes we get all the other guys. فرع اليمن.
And Yemen, that was my question too. Yeah. So do you have any? I just wonder what the oldest collection do you have? You have something like a during the Ottoman time in You do.
We started digitizing few things from Latakia. We found in our friend's grandfathers. He was a mufti, al-mufti of Latakia.
Okay.
So we started digitizing stuff from 1903 to 1908, which is like lawsuits, mahkama sharia stuff.
Okay. And how about Saudi Arabia? Do you have anything historically, anything? Okay. It's all in them.
We are specialized in Syria. We try to specialize in Syria.
Okay.
We don't want to like encourage into other countries unless like Al-Bas, because Al-Bas have Far al-Yaman, Far al-Urdun,
Yeah.
Far
In this case, okay. No, I'm not talking about something being published in Saudi Arabia, something like being written about the history or about the area, the Gulf area.
Some, not a lot.
Okay.
Like we don't have a publisher that's specialized. Like for example, Safhat, he writes a lot about Kurdish history.
Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
now he's publishing the best books right now.
So you have it. You have a website, and you have like a list of books and.
Our website is not the best way to get our books. Is by reaching us, and we send you lists, because our lists. We have lists coming up every day. Sometimes we have 3-4 lists a day.
Okay.
Yeah, and all of our lists are transliterated and everything. Like we try to put as much information in our list as possible.
Okay, thank you.
We also have 2 questions from the chat.
Okay, so the first question comes from Dale Correa from University of Texas in Austin. Did the smaller publisher, independent artists, musicians, etc., license their content to you or sign over copyright?
This is something we are working on right now. Some of them, we are offering them money so we can have the copyrights for them, so we can digitize them and put them on our website. In Syria, the copyright thing is a new thing. So now all of the writers started like asking about it. So they are giving publishers hard times, because some writers go to a publisher to publish a book, and the publisher behind their back goes and sell it to people.
Thank you. Second question comes from Arthur Decker, independent scholar. About the music, what are the sources? Old cassettes and vinyl? Would you be interested in record labels that could release some of that material? Sounds fascinating.
Well, we have vinyl, we have cassettes, and we have CDs. But all the old stuff is cassettes and vinyl, basically. And in a record label that could release some of that material, I will give him my email, and I will give it to. There's a man in Latakia who have been documenting Syrian music for maybe 40, 50 years. So this is the man I went to. And he gave me a hard drive, like about 50 gigabytes of all these performances in Latakia and in the coast, in the mountains, in Tartus, Aleppo, all of these like local singers. And they are not Sabah Fakhri Abdul Wahab, not these guys. They are like the local guys.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay.
But asking about the website, I'm
Yeah.
trying to get the website right here.
Yeah, the website is SyrianBooks.com. Right.
Thanks. Ryan Zohar, Georgetown University. I was wondering if you collect publications from Palestinian organizations that are published in Syria, and if you could speak about, what you might have. I'm curious if
we have Al-Ard, the magazine.
Okay.
We have for Palestine. Sometimes they write books. We collect those, and we used to. Purchase Al-Hadaf and Al-Hurriya whenever we find it. We have a very good collection of them. We try to get all of the Palestinian posters. We get, because the Palestinian issue in Syria is very, tricky, we cannot reach out for them directly. You know, you gotta go through some bodies and stuff. So we wait for them till they give it to our sources, and then we get it. But there are 2, 3, like Al-Ard Foundation in Damascus publish a lot of books, and they do the magazine as well.
I know that the PLO Research Center collaborated with the Syrian Ministry of Culture for a short period as well. So I was wondering if you have that.
I mean, Syria always have a tricky relationship with PLO and all of these guys, and they always, you know, pushed their guys, you know, As-Sa'iqa and the guys whom they like. So these guys do publish stuff, and they have magazines. And another thing I didn't mention, we've been collecting a lot, all the new political parties that been emerging in Syria, like Hizb al-Ahad al-Jadid, for example. Where they have a publication, and now we collected all of their journals from zero. Now they are about 200, and we are printing them and, you know, binding them.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, finally, our last presenters, please welcome Al-Monitor.
Website in the background. Okay. And then you can share your screen after that. So perfect. Yeah. Thanks. All right, why don't you go ahead? Get started.
Greetings, I'm Andrew Parasoliti, president of almonitor.com. This is our first Middle East Library Association conference. Thank you to William, and thanks to everyone here. I've already learned a lot from these presentations. Many of you may know Al-Monitor. It's a digital website covering the Middle East. We've been around for over 10 years. We cover, I think our reputation is based on our independence, diversity of perspectives, and the highest standards of journalism. We try to give voice to the voices from the region. In our second year, we won the International Peace Institute's Free Media Pioneer Award, and have been awarded numerous online journalism awards since. It's a website where you can have Israeli perspectives, Palestinian perspectives, Iran, Turkey, all sorts of writing and reporting that you may not see presented in the way it's presented here. In an era where many regionally based media are controlled by governments or certain powers, we're not. There's more of a call for independent media than there ever has been. And I'm glad to say that Al-Monitor is expanding its news coverage, and it's expanding its premium offerings, Al-Monitor Pro. And I'm going to stop here and turn it over to my colleague, our CEO, Greg Cohen, who will tell you about the Pro offering.
Thanks, everyone. Pleasure to be here. So I started as CEO this past year, really to drive Al-Monitor's next step into premium offerings. We offer now Al-Monitor Pro, as Andrew just indicated. The idea really is to get the best insights from think tank experts, professors, professionals at investment firms and professional services firms to write memos, trend reports. We hold events with them and really get concise, actionable, economic, geopolitical insights in English distributed to the world. We've just launched Pro about 3 months ago. We have about 30 different memos, data-driven trend reports. We're working with a variety of embassies across the world, from Europe, Asia, the US, the Gulf, as well as think tanks, universities. We're very keen to build institutional relationships, particularly with universities, to offer students, both graduate and undergraduate, access to all of our insights. I was very pleased to hear of some other platforms here that may be interesting for distribution partnerships. We're looking to plug in with other vendors that already have relationships with universities. So we're happy to do direct, indirect. We've done a number of events, mainly in Washington, D.C., but we'll be expanding them into the region and perhaps across the country, where we meet with ambassadors from the region, ministers, and different professionals covering, all the hot topic issues. The coverage really focuses on geopolitics, economics, innovation, finance. We have a lot of the latest information on what's happening in crypto and AI. So I think it's a really interesting opportunity. It's a unique product, tons of different perspectives and professionals that are contributing to it. we'll be investing more in it, and we're looking forward to speaking with different universities and institutions that we can partner with. I'll keep it short and sweet, so open for questions. Thank you.
Have time for questions. Hoda, do you want to say something? You don't have any questions this time? Probably more? Tomorrow? Okay. At Mesa, yeah.
We'll be at Mesa, and I know a lot of your focus is on more of the interesting ancient materials, and so we may be a little bit out of place here. But speaking with your colleagues, from Georgetown, Stanford, I think there's a lot of interesting. I've spoken to several of you who have colleagues that will be very interested in. So I may ask you for some introduction. So appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I would mention we are here at Mesa. We're sponsoring the coffee break on Saturday at 10:30, and we're also doing a special session, and you can get a flavor for some of what we do there. We've got a great lineup. Greg and I, of course, will be there, but we've got Karen Young of Columbia University, who's probably one of the leading scholars these days on the political economy of the Gulf. We also have our Robert Mogilevsky. He's the Arab Gulf States Institute, also top rate on Arab economies, and our State Department correspondent, Elizabeth Hagedorn. And I think what you'll see is that the material that we have covers the range of not just news reporting, but trend reporting and cutting edge analysis in terms of our experts and our reporters across a range of issues. And it's not just geopolitics, but also innovation trends, what the youth are indicating, and also human rights and how that factors in to how US policy and other policies are formulated in the region.
Any other questions? How about from our online colleagues? Nothing. Okay. We still have a few minutes. Are there any questions for any of our presenters, whether it was the first set of sessions or the present? Thank you. Has everyone had enough of MELA activities or not yet? We were going to have an expansion program for the afternoon, but no.
I don't think we will have that.
Okay, well, this concludes Vendor Showcase. So once again, we want to thank our participants, Ferdowsi, Labiba Kitabavi, Noursoft, Libra Books, Layla Books, Eastview, LibraCons, Almanador, Almanzuma, and Assyrian Books. And last but not least, we should also thank our other sponsors, which include Overdrive and Sullivan's Bookshop. So this concludes Vendor Showcase, and now we'll turn it over to our president for any final words.
I would like to thank everyone who participated in the conference, and I hope that you found it useful, joyful. I am sorry for having a lot in the program, but I think it was a very useful collection of presentations and lots of participants. I was talking yesterday and I found that we had about 50 presenters in the program. This does not include actually the vendor showcase, which had, I think, more than 10 today spoke. So we have a total of probably 60 or 65 presenters spoke to us in these last 2-3 days. So thank you everyone for attending online, attending in person, joining our conference, sponsoring sessions, sponsoring food, and we'll see you inshallah in the next year in Montreal, Canada. So hope to see everyone. We're not sure if we have something online or in person. This is up to the new program committee. We'll decide that later in the year, and we'll keep everyone updated. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the time.